Okay, today we are looking at this little riddle worksheet. We are going to do the top half together, and then hopefully you will know enough how to do it to be able to do the bottom half on your own. So what you're going to need for this is you are going to need a calculator. So you can either open the calculator on your iPad, maybe split screen this video and have the calculator up so you can make sure you understand this too. Or you can watch me do it, but then you're going to need your own calculator when you do the other half. So on the top, it says, let me turn on a light here. There we go. It says find two consecutive whole numbers. The square root is between. Then we're going to write the letter on this number line. So this is how we're going to do this. The square root of 30, that does not come out evenly. The square root of 36 is 6 times 6, and the square root of 25 is 5 times 5, but there's nothing in between. There's no square root of 30. I'm going to show you what it looks like on your calculator. If you have a calculator like mine, the square root button is up here. It's not on this button itself. It's kind of in this background. So to get to that button, I have to push my shift, my second button, and then this one for the square root to pop up. So I'm going to push square root of 30 equals, and you can see it's an irrational number. It's 5.4772255575, and it would keep going if my calculator was bigger. So it's irrational, but we know that it's I'm going to say about 5. So it's about 5.5 because this 4 would get rounded up to a 5. So I'm going to write that it's about 5.5. Now, if it's about 5.5, we need to go place it on the number line. Where would you put 5.5 on the number line? A lot of kids mix it up and think that this would be 4, somewhere around 4, like between 4 and 5. But if I have $5 and some change, then I have more than 5, but less than 6. So if I want to go more than 5, it's going to be in between here. So you are going to put a dot at about where 5.5 would be, and you're going to write the letter S if you want to do the riddle part. And if you're not interested in doing the riddle, because I never really care about the actual riddle, I just care that you're doing the work, you could just put square root of 30 right here. But for today, I'll go ahead and see what the riddle says. Why did the teacher assign extra homework when she taught adolescents? We'll see. Okay, I'm going to go down. So the square root of 8, again, all you're going to do is type it in your calculator. Square root of 8 equals, it's about 2.8. So I'll write about 2.8. 2.8 is more than 2. If you have $2 and change, you have more than $2, but you do not have 3. So you have 2 and then 0.8. So I'm going to put it right here between 2 and 3, a little bit closer to 3, because 0.8 is like $2.80. And then I'm going to put the letter E. All right, let's keep going. Square root of 138. Square root 138 equals 11.7, about 11.7. So 11.7, that means I have more than $11. $11 and about 70 cents, so almost 12, but not quite 12, less than 12. So it's between 11 and 12. 1170 might be right approximately here. And I'm going to put the letter G. Okay, the square root of 70 is the next one. Square root 70, that's about 8 that 6 would bump it up to a 4. So I'm going to call it about 8.4. So 8.4, and I hope you're pushing the calculator yourself and trying these so that you make sure you know how the square root button works. So 8.4 is more than 8, but not quite to halfway to 9. So 8.4 would be maybe right there, and that's the letter Y. All right, we're ready for our second column, the square root of 2. Square root of 2 is 1.4, about 1.4. So that means it's more than 1, but not all the way to 2. So more than 1, about halfway past. It's almost 1.5, but not quite. That's H. If I'm going too fast, you can also pause the video and try a few of these on your own to make sure you get it, and then skip ahead to make sure you're getting these right. The next one is square root of 23. Square root of 23 equals 4 point, that 9 is going to bump this 7 up to an 8. So 4.8, about 4.8. So again, that's more than 4. It's actually almost 5. Like that'd be like $4.80. So almost 5. 480, and that's square root of 23, which is A. All right, square root of 82. Square root 82 equals 9 point, that 5 would bump it up to a 1. So barely more than 9. 9.1, I almost said 5. 9 and just barely over. So barely past the 9, maybe like right there. And that's I. All right, square root of 0.5. Square root, you can put a decimal in a square root. 0.5. 0.7. This is not going to bump this up to an 8 because it's a 0. So 0.7, about 0.7. If you have $0 but you're getting close to 1, you're not at 1. You're at 0 and then like 70 cents. So you don't even have $1. You have less than 1. So you're at 0.7 for the S. Okay, you're over here to T now, square root of 45. And that is 6.7 about. 6.7 means more than $6, but not quite all the way to $7. I keep saying dollars. Obviously, these are not dollars, but you know, it's a good way to kind of think of it. So more than 6, not all the way to 7. And that is T. N is square root of 120, which is 10.9. Ooh, that's almost 11. It's at the very end of, it's past 10, almost all the way up to 11. So 10.9, actually I could have almost written 11 because this would bump it up, but it's not quite that much because if you look on down, the numbers don't round up anymore. So I'm going to leave it 10.9, even though technically that probably could have bumped up to an 11. So N is going to go at way down here at almost right at 11, very close to 11. And that is N. Square root of 11 is 3.3. So about 3.3, I'm rounding all of these, which means more than 3, but just a little bit more than 3, not even quite halfway to 4. That would be W. And then the last one, the square root of 59 is 7 point, that 6 is going to bump up to a 7 because 8 is going to round it up. So 7.7 is more than 7, but not all the way quite to 8. So more than 7, a little bit more than halfway to 8. So that was R. All right, let's see why did the teacher assign extra homework when she taught adolescents. I think that's she was trying. Oh, I bet this is only part of the answer. You are going to now have to do the rest of it to find out she was trying. So we'll see. She was trying to what? So I am going to stop the video, and for your own practice, I want you to do exactly what I did. Write down what the number equivalency is out of your calculator, and then take the letter and place it in the correct spot on the number line on this section below.